rankings. Yeah. Be honest. If you know boxing, be honest. There's levels.
And it showed, bro. It showed.
He's very sharp. That's all I can
Dangerous.
say. Very dangerous. He don't look like he's a 46.
He looks like he's 36 or 26.
Yeah.
Gervonta Davis was left speechless after watching Manny Pacquiao's jaw-dropping training for the Barrios fight. Even at his age, Pacquiao is moving with lightning speed and serious power. His fast footwork and crisp punches show he's not slowing down anytime soon, and he's clearly preparing to take over once again. Manny Pacquiao's teammates say he looked just as sharp and explosive as ever in sparring. According to them, he's showing no signs of slowing down and still trains like he's in his prime. One teammate revealed Pacquiao went 8 hard rounds without tiring, keeping his speed, power, and accuracy from start to finish. His footwork was clean, his punches were on point, and his timing was spot on. They were blown away by how fresh he stayed through it all. Instead of just keeping up, Manny is setting the pace and surprising everyone with how sharp and fight-ready he still is.
Everybody is surprised, so it's gonna be a good fight. Right?
What's the most impressive? His speed, his power, his footwork?
It's everything, because you don't see him slow down. People say he's slowing down, but he's not. I mean, that's where you're exactly going to be surprised, because he's sharp, really, to be honest with you. He's very, very sharp. That's why I don't want to say anything else, but...
No, leave it at that.
You know.
But how...
I live it that way, but...
Okay, so let me ask you this. In 11 days, he steps into the ring at the MGM in Las Vegas to fight Mario Barrios.
Yeah.
How does the fight end?
There's a chance of knockout.
Manny,
I can see that.
You can
but
see a
I'm
knockout?
not going to say what round, but...
Just that Manny wins either way,
but,
knockout or decision.
Yeah. I don't think decision. Maybe. But decision is kind of... I don't know if it's going to distance, really, because the way
Manny's
I
that
see
explosive.
everything is, I don't know.
Okay, now let's talk about his son Jim for a second. How talented is his son?
He's a very good fighter. You know, he's
Good
going
power.
there.
I've seen him knock people out.
Yeah, he's but power. You know, but right now he's still you know, we want him to grow more. You know, so to be ready. Actually, he's ready already. So we just want it to working in silence. You know, so we keep it that way. Yeah.
What's your message to all Pacquiao fans who are watching this, who are getting ready, who are excited for Manny Pacquiao Barrios July 19, Las Vegas?
Tune in to this coming fight, because it's gonna be a very good fight.
Don't go to the kitchen. Don't go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Don't look at your phone.
Yes,
because it can happen.
Focus on that, because I know Mario Barrios also is training hard too. Manny also, he trained like there's no tomorrow.
Roy Jones Jr. is fully backing Manny Pacquiao to win another world title in his comeback. Despite questions about his age and time away from the ring, Jones says Pacquiao's drive, experience, and heart make him different. He believes Manny still has the skills, discipline, and mindset to compete at the highest level. Jones made it clear this isn't just about a flashy return. Pacquiao's hunger and training shows he's serious about making another run, and he's not coming back just for the spotlight.
I would not be able to take credit for beating Pacquiao after he got knocked out by Marquez, because that's not the same Pacquiao.
Of course.
That's not the Pacquiao at the top of his game.
Yeah, of course.
But in society today, we'll call that person the best fighter ever.
Of course.
When that's not how that goes. Mm-hmm. That's not reality. But in the business world, it is, because look how much money he made.
Here we go! who's greater than me? I said, Sugar Ray Robinson. He said, Sugar Ray Robinson, how many wins he got? I said, he got like over 150 wins. He stopped for a minute. He said, but who got more championship titles, me or him? I said, hold on, Floyd. He said, answer the question. I said, Floyd, there's more titles now than then. There was just one then. That's no fair. Answer the question. I said, okay, you. Do I not have 28 titles? And I was just like, I don't know. He said, oh, you're supposed to be the expert. But the reason why I said that is because there's minor and major titles. Who else greater than me? I said Henry Armstrong, Roberto Duran. He said, oh my God. You said something about Pacquiao. Yeah, I said, I think you'll beat Pacquiao every day of the week, but I think he had a greater career. He said, you ain't think Pacquiao was on steroids? I said, he didn't fail any tests, Floyd. He said, look at me in my eyes. I can't say, man, he didn't fail. He said, oh man, you failed. I saw that as a initiation. This is what you about to get. Nobody's greater than Floyd. My thing is, he should feel that way, but you can't expect everybody to feel that you're the greatest, Floyd.
Mario Barrios made it clear that while he respects Manny Pacquiao as a legend outside the ring, that respect ends the moment they step through the ropes. Barrios sees Pacquiao as just another challenger coming for his title and says there's no room for emotion or nostalgia on fight night. He's treating this like any other defense, focused, serious, and ready to do whatever it takes to keep his belt.
You know, ever since the fight was announced, I think initially I was kind of just like shocked. Like, man, dude, like, Pacquiao wants to fight me, right? He wants to fight me for my title. You know, I think for the sport, boxing, and I think just sports in general, like Manny is that name. When you think about boxing, right? He's somebody that comes to mind. At least for me, like I've been watching him since since my earliest memories of boxing. Manny has been a name that's like, okay, like he's the man. And yeah, you know, now he wants to come out of retirement. He wants to fight me for my title. I can't look at it as anything other than, you know, it's just another opponent trying to take what's mine. You know, he's outside the ring. I have, you know, nothing but respect for him, nothing but respect for everything he's accomplished, for the person he is, you know, everything he does, you know, for his country and more. But as soon as we step in the ring, you know, he's in there trying to take what's mine.
I'm not training with the mentality, you know, that I'm getting ready, you know, to fight an icon, to fight a legend. At the end of the day, he's just another man, you know, trying to fight for my title. He's going in there trying to, you know, take my title, and I got to do whatever it takes to make sure he does.
Brian Mendoza acknowledged Manny Pacquiao's greatness but pointed out the reality that age could affect his performance. He said that while Pacquiao still shows impressive speed and sharp instincts, the later rounds might reveal physical limitations. Mendoza believes fans should respect Pacquiao's comeback, but also understand that even the best fighters can't outrun time, especially in high-intensity matchups.
Don't say that before the interview.
I don't. This is an unbiased opinion.
Man, I'm looking forward to it, you know, even just as a boxing fan, you know, obviously coming up, it was always, you know, seeing Pacquiao's fights and stuff, and now to see the homie, you know, going up against him like that, it's wild, man. It's a wild feeling. I know even more so for him, but nah, man, I just think at the end of the day, I feel like, you know, the age will show up in the fight. I think at first, you know, he's had people talk about the layoff, but it's also a rest for someone at that age. So I feel like he's going to be rested. I feel like we might see, you know, hints of little old Manny, no pun intended, the old Manny. Little bits of flashes of that in there, but I think at the end of the day, man, Mario's super sharp. This is the sharpest I've ever seen him, you know, this far in camp. I'm super excited, bro, and he's gonna put on a great show. I still kind of lean towards like a decision, but regardless, it's Mario's way. If there is a stoppage, I think it'll be in like the second half. Like I said, you know, because I think that's really when the age is going to show, because you can look good in the gym, man, but once those bright lights are on you, anything that's wrong will come out. So as much of a legend man he is, I think, you know, he bit off a little more than he can chew with Barrios.
Despite concerns about his age, many fans still believe Manny Pacquiao has what it takes to compete at the top. His recent training footage has sparked new hope, showing he still moves with power, speed, and sharp instincts. Supporters say Pacquiao's unique angles, high stamina, and relentless pressure have always set him apart, and those traits don't just disappear over time. The buzz around his comeback is fueled by trust in his ability to adapt and his unmatched determination.
Manny Pacquiao returns to the ring against a young fighter, champion WBC, Mario Barrios. How do you see that fight playing out?
Yeah, Barrios is a tall guy, and he's a tough guy. You know, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt because Pacquiao is champion, the holder of the records of 8 divisions. and he knows how to fight. He knows how to win. So you always got to give it that opportunity for him to show up. And now whoever shows up in that ring, whether it's a desire to win or just try to be there, that's a question that we have to see. But I believe that he has the ability to do something to win the fight against Barrios.
Analysts believe Pacquiao's best shot at victory is to come out fast and fight smart from the start. Since his stamina might dip in the later rounds, many say he needs to take control early and use his trademark speed to put pressure on Barrios right away. The goal is to set the pace, gain momentum, and avoid letting the fight drag into deep waters. To win, Pacquiao must take advantage of Barrios' slower reactions while staying out of risky exchanges that could drain his energy.
I was talking to somebody about Manny coming back fighting Mario Barrios.
Ouch.
And this was the analogy I gave. Your timing is just, it slows down. That's time. Time slows you down. And so to me, I think Manny has to come out very strong, very fast in the first couple of rounds because his gas tank ain't what it used to be. At 46 years old, you come out and let's just say hypothetically your gas is half full at 46 years old. I'd rather try to use that half tank
when I got something
in 2 or 3 rounds.
Yeah.
And really get off on this kid because he has the kind of style. Styles make fights. He's got the perfect style for Manny to do what he do. But the further that fight goes, the more that's gonna go down. He ain't young no more when it does this. It ain't gonna do this no more. It ain't gonna go down and then come back up. He not gonna create space, take a deep breath, and that thing shoot up the way it used to. He ain't gonna do that.
Many observers believe Barrios' defense could be a major weakness against Pacquiao's non-stop pressure. They say Pacquiao's speed, angles, and smart shot placement might be enough to break through Barrios' guard. Critics argue that Barrios leaves openings a sharp veteran like Pacquiao can take advantage of. If Pacquiao stays sharp and avoids early damage, he has a real chance to put Barrios in serious trouble.
Pacquiao Barrios, bro. Who do you like?
It's hard to know, at the age of Pacquiao, what we're going to get from him, But I'll tell you this. Depending on his conditioning, right? Depending on how much he can pop in on that instep that he brought to me, that notorious fast instep. If he can pop in that instep and if Pacquiao can get in, I know he can hurt Mario Barrios. Defense of Mario Barrios is still suspect. He is willing to get caught. You can catch the kid. He's not hard to find.
Questions still linger about Barrios' true level, especially since he's been stopped before by opponents seen as less powerful and explosive than Pacquiao. Analysts point out that while Barrios is tough, he hasn't truly proven himself against top-tier fighters. That gives Pacquiao a real opportunity. If he sets a fast pace and pressures Barrios into tough spots, he could take control. Many believe Pacquiao can win this fight if he stays focused and sticks to a smart strategy.
Are you cool with Pacquiao against Mario Barrios?
I am. I'm cool with it. If I was cool with Manny Pacquiao coming back and fighting Keith Thurman, I'm definitely going to be cool with this one. Barrios is not a puncher. Thurman was one of the biggest punchers in boxing. I think he's going to be just fine with Mario Barrios, we know what he is on the top level. He comes up short. He's been stopped by fighters that are less than Manny Pacquiao, Tank Davis. So I like this fight. I think he's not going to be an overwhelming favorite, but I think it'll be a 50-50 fight, regardless of his inactivity and age. His explosiveness, even at this age, his greatness, and the fact that you can never know what Barrios you're going to get. And yeah, man, I like this fight. Why not? Nostalgia, marketable. Everyone will be behind him. It'll be internationally successful. I'm in.
How are you comparing Pacquiao coming back this summer at 46 after not fighting in 5 years to Pacquiao in 2019 fighting Keith Thurman, which came after back-to-back wins over Lucas Batiste and Adrian Broner? Those two scenarios could not be more different.
Some experts say that if age wasn't a factor, Pacquiao would clearly be the favorite. They believe his basics are still strong and his boxing intelligence is top-notch. These analysts think Pacquiao has the edge if he can bring the fast pace and footwork that made him great. A big highlight of his comeback has been how sharp he looks in training. People close to him say he's moving with great speed, throwing solid combinations, and showing quick footwork. He's reportedly sparred for several rounds without losing energy and stays mentally locked in.
So former 8 Division World Champion, now Hall of Famer, Manny Pacquiao is now gearing up to take on welterweight champion Mario Barrios. And this is going to be an interesting fight. Now, I see a lot of people talking about Pacquiao saying that he's a former shell of himself, which he probably is. But make no mistake, 60% Manny Pacquiao is still good enough to beat on a lot of these young guys. Now, people are talking about Mario Barrios because he beat Udonis Ugas, someone who beat Manny Pacquiao last time out. Styles make fights, and this training footage of Manny Pacquiao training, I don't know. I think Barrios might be in for a long night, especially given his last time out with Ramos.
He ain't lying.
Paulie Malignaggi has expressed doubts about whether Pacquiao can keep up his performance throughout an entire fight. He respects Pacquiao's top-level training but points out that as fighters get older, their bodies don't bounce back as quickly. Malignaggi believes that even the best-prepared veterans often struggle in the later rounds, where endurance and leg strength are crucial. Still, he admits Pacquiao is unique and might be able to push past these usual age challenges.
What do you think about, Manny's decision and obviously getting thrown right into a title shot?
When you get older, your legs are not the same. You may have very good legs for a few rounds, but as you drag out a long fight, your legs start to betray you. I felt that later in my career. I would get into shape, but now all of a sudden, around 10, 11, 12, my legs are dragging ass, bro. Pacquiao, having not fought in a while, 46 years old. A lot of tough fights, a lot of wear and tear on Manny Pacquiao. But Manny had 70-plus pro fights. And he wasn't a defensive specialist. A lot of impact, a lot of back-and-forth impact. He's 46, He had a lot of heavy wear and tear into his late 30s and early 40s. So how are his legs going to be? That's my biggest thing, because I think, Manny was a range-changing fighter. He was he was that style, in and out. He's not a pocket guy. And an in-and-out guy needs his legs, and needs his legs the whole fight. Unless he lands something big. I will say, I think Mario Barrios. I think he sucks.
Barrios has highlighted that many great fighters have struggled against the effects of time. He believes Pacquiao could face similar challenges, especially if the fight goes into the later rounds. Barrios points to his youth and stamina as key advantages and says history shows aging champions often get caught off guard. Some critics say Pacquiao might not have the knockout power he once had. While he can still land clean punches, Barrios' youth and toughness could help him take the hits and keep fighting. They argue Pacquiao will need more than just good timing. He'll need strong, consistent power to finish the fight early.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is official. Manny Pacquiao will actually be fighting Mario Barrios for the WBC welterweight title. If this man comes back and beats Barrios, which, if I'm being totally honest, I don't think he's winning this fight even remotely. I think he could actually get stopped, in my opinion. It's not because Manny's not great or nothing. He's one of the greatest of all time. You could argue that he is the greatest of all time. You know what I'm saying? 8th division champion. But he's just too old, man. This man is 46 years of age. If he wins this fight, he ties Bernard Hopkins' record for the oldest champion in boxing. That would be crazy. But if I'm being honest, I just don't see him winning. I see him getting stopped, dropped and stopped, if I'm being honest. He is having trouble with Ampo, bro. And Ampo not even a boxer. He a kickboxer. And yeah, I just don't think he'll, I just think he's too old, if I'm being honest. I just think he's too old to win the title. But let me know what y'all think down below, man.
Interestingly, Barrios' trainer has a different view on Pacquiao's comeback. He warns that assuming Pacquiao's time away from the ring is a weakness might be wrong. According to him, Pacquiao may have kept training quietly and stayed in good shape even when out of the spotlight. This could make Pacquiao even more dangerous since his body might be well rested and fully recovered, something rare in boxing. The trainer suggests Pacquiao's current sharpness shows he never really left the sport. While many fans are excited about the return, some believe this fight shouldn't have been arranged. Critics say bringing retired legends back just for big paydays can hurt their legacy and sends the wrong message about boxing. They point out that Pacquiao has already proven his greatness and doesn't need to prove anything more. From this angle, stepping back into the ring against a younger, active fighter risks damaging his historic career.
So Manny Pacquiao versus Mario Barrios for the WBC welterweight title is being targeted for late July in either San Antonio or Las Vegas on Amazon Prime. And Pacquiao is currently in a Senate campaign in the Philippines in May, but after that he wants to return in the summer for a world title and try to break his own record as the oldest welterweight champion at 46 years old. Now I have every issue in the world with this. Manny Pacquiao, he's my favorite fighter all time, but this is just not great for boxing. Pacquiao's last fight was 4 years ago in 2021 against Yordenis Ugas. And in that fight, he looked a lot slower, not as explosive, and he got outboxed. And then last year when he was targeting the Barrios fight, he had an exhibition against a kickboxer, Rukia Anpo first, and he looked even slower and even more hittable in that fight. I don't think Pacquiao should be sanctioned to fight a world title fight at 46 years old, and not that Barrios is some scary knockout artist or a pound-for-pound level talent. If there's one champ at 147 that Pacquiao could upset, it would be Barrios. But in all likelihood, Barrios being the younger, bigger guy, he's just going to beat Manny for 12 rounds, probably stop him late. So I just don't want to see the fight. Pacquiao's accomplished everything in the sport. He really doesn't need another fight at 46.
That wraps up today's video. Thanks for watching.